I think it speaks truth to who we are at the core, and who we are at the core are flawed. We're scared. We're fearful.
Yeah.
But how we lean into that and navigate through those fears, it's what makes us, the badass. And I just, and then you brought listening. That was your gift. That was your message from that universe to say, it's listening. We're not doing that enough.
Yes, we are not doing it enough. And the part of it that we're doing, or we think we're doing, we're not always doing it right or well. I shouldn't say right, because there are so many different ways to do it, but we're not doing it well. We're not doing it effectively.
Yeah. So tell me, all right, how do we need to be doing it well, and how are we not doing it effectively? And if that means giving me some tips and tricks here, everything, if it's a matter of, do I need to pinch my nose, my ears, or some technique? Like, let's do it.
Well, there are lots of different techniques. So let me step back and say that I like to use the analogy of running. Or not running, or breathing. Breathing. Let's use breathing, because I think breathing and listening are very similar. We assume that we know how to do it because we were born with the ability to do both. And I went to a Catholic school for 5 years, so we never had music class or anything. So I never learned to play an instrument. I go to junior high
Catholics
school.
Not playing, they play music. I'm a Baptist, forgive me.
Yeah, no, the Catholic school that I went to did not have music classes. Yeah, so I never got to learn to play anything.
Okay.
So I go to junior high school and I join the chorus, and I remember the choir director saying, "Breathe, breathe." I mean, he would yell, "Breathe." And I thought, now that's the stupidest thing ever, because if I wasn't breathing, I'd be dead. So of course we're all breathing in here, right? And in my mind, that's the way I thought breathing worked, right? Breathing is what kept me alive. I was still alive, so clearly I was breathing.
I got me here to class.
Yeah, I had no idea that there were different ways to breathe. And it wasn't really until I started studying yoga that I learned about, the breath and different ways that we could breathe, and how different breathing could then help us do other things. And I started running then too. I think it's so funny that as young adults, we're like, oh, I'm going to run a marathon. Well, it wasn't a marathon, but it was a 6K. 10K, right? I'm going to run a 10K, right? That's what I'm going to do. And so you put on your clothes and you go outside and you start running. And within a block, you're like, oh God, am I ever going to catch my breath, right? And then you learn that you have to, warm up, and there are different ways to breathe for running, and you just can't go all out. And I think that I didn't learn about breathing until I got myself in situations where my breathing wasn't working. And I think the same thing with listening too, is we get ourselves into situations. We think it's because our speaking isn't working right. We get embarrassed. We put our foot in our mouth. We say something stupid. We hurt somebody's feelings. But we
get embarrassed on a podcast.
Yeah. But it's really that we weren't listening, Or sometimes it's because we weren't listening.